But speaking of things that I wasn't sure about, now I don't think Bucho is here today. I think he's been busy today, or he's been busy this whole week. But anyway, he had been bugging me to watch this movie, and of course, by proxy, I've been bugging my wife to watch this movie. We finally sat down and watched Bumblebee, and I gotta say, I liked it. In fact, when it comes to a Transformers movie, ever since the first Michael Bay disaster, that's right, Pucho. If you're watching the replay, oh yeah, disaster. I didn't like it. And the reason I don't like it is one of the things that almost bothered me about this one. But I'll get into it. So, the movie's fun. It really reminds me a lot of that first Transformers movie. You know, you've got this kid who finds the car. The car ends up being a Transformer. Chaos ensues. That's really the basic storyline. But, yeah. Haley Steinfeld plays the character of Charlie. You've, of course, got John Cena, which scared me, I'll be honest with you, because John Cena so far has not impressed me as an actor. He's cheesy. What was that firefighter movie that my nieces and nephews made me watch? Oh my God, that movie was terrible. Did make me laugh a couple of times. I will be honest with you, but it was bad, real bad. But I really enjoyed this movie. This movie had a good mix of the things that I would say that they're trying to do with Transformers. But here's my problem with it. The movie is called... What is the name of the movie, people? The movie is called Bumblebee. Why is Bumblebee a prop? Ucho. It's my main source of... My main source of problems, my main problem with the whole Transformers series that they've tried to do here. This isn't called Charlie and Bumblebee. This isn't called A Girl and Her Car. This isn't called Man, High School is Weird and There's an Alien Car here. It's called Bumblebee. Damn it. To me, they keep trying to say, well, you know what? We got to tell a human story here. Why? Why? If the movie's called Transformers, how about you have some friggin' Transformers in it? Huh? Why is the human story front and center, and the Transformers story is in the background? You know what it reminds me of? This is a crazy analogy. But it's almost like the way that in a lot of older films, let's just say, in general, the women were nothing but props. The women were objects of affection or things meant to be saved, right? I felt like Bumblebee himself, the character, was a prop a lot of the time. And I just wish it wasn't like that. The main story should be Bumblebee. Why do you... Okay, who decided that Bumblebee couldn't talk? Who made the decision? Michael Bay? Was it Michael Bay? Or was it... And Steven Spielberg was like, hey, let's have him talk in songs. Why? Why? Because you know what that does? That takes away character. And all he does is Mayoral Digital, hey, how's it going? He had a good intro on Cybertron. Oh, yes, he did. Oh, are you talking about in this movie or in the war on Cybertron? The siege, whatever the Netflix thing is. Because I agree with you. I agree with you in this movie. But then it quits being, it stops. It stops being about him. And that's the thing that irritates me about these movies, the Transformers movies. You've continually got, well, we need another big star. Let's get Mark Wahlberg. What does Mark Wahlberg have to do with friggin' Transformers? It should be about the Transformers first, and the people should be the props, because that's the story. And that's been the story since 1984. It's not called Spike and his crazy robot friends. Am I right or am I wrong? It's like calling it Batman, and Batman's in the movie for 40 minutes out of the 2.5-hour runtime. Of course, that's a bad example because he may only be Batman for 40 minutes. Look, all I'm trying to say is that it should be about the characters, you know, that's the freaking name of the movie. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I don't like the fact that he was a prop. Because I felt like that's what it was. Oh, look, the prop did something crazy. Oh, no. What is mom gonna think? Look, that is a fine story. If that's the story you want to tell, that's fine. You tell the story you want to tell. But don't call it Bumblebee. You called it Bumblebee to get people in the seats. You showed the Transformer action to get people in the seats. But then when you show, oh, I'm going through things. Now I have an alien robot car. Yay! I'm being overly dramatic, okay? The movie's not bad at all. The movie is, I'm not going to say great. I'm going to say it's good. Bumblebee is a Santa Cruz movie? Yes. Yeah. And that's fine. If that's what you want to do, fine. Don't call it Bumblebee. Be honest with me. Is this a movie about Transformers, or is this a movie about teenage girls going through stuff and just happens to find an alien car? Take it out of Transformers altogether. Make it like Mac and Me. You remember Mac and Me? Huh? An E.T. ripoff? At least it was called Mac and Me. That way you knew that, oh, okay, we're dealing with a kid too. So it's not just about the alien. It's about the kid too. It's just, that irritates me. It irritates me because I love the Transformers. And I know that sounds weird. For me, basically griping about the Transformers. But no. I collected the comics. I have in that closet right there. I have a lot of comics from back then that I loved. I have, you know, the kind of, in fact, it may be up there. It's up there, up on the top shelf. I have a comic. It's almost like a like the Star Wars source books or whatever you want to call it, where it's got like all the explanations of all the characters and where they're from and all that kind of stuff every time. But that book is basically that for the Transformers, all the different characters, what they transform into, what their alliances are, what their abilities are, all that kind of stuff is one of the things that I always thought was interesting. You think Spike is in that book? Huh? Or I think in the comics his name is Buster. The Witwickies. Do you think the Witwickies are in that book? No. Because it's called Transformers. Okay. Look, I'm going overboard. I get it. But it just irritates me when they do that. It just irritates me. Because I want a good Transformers movie that's about Transformers. And you might say, well, Rob, they made the Transformers Siege War for Cybertron special edition collector's series on Netflix. That's a long title. Whatever it is, it's friggin' long. I think it's Siege: War for Cybertron. Volume 1. Special edition. Whatever it is, it's friggin' long. Yes, and I appreciated it. But it's boring. I'm sorry, but it's boring. I don't understand. Like in Bumblebee, for example. There's a part where the bad Transformers people, alien guys, they're in this garage. The garage opens. They transform into cars. They roll about 50 feet, and then they transform into their flying stuff. When really efficiently, you probably could have just walked out, jumped, and then turned into a helicopter and or plane and flew off. But no, they transformed into the cars first, then transformed into their flying whatever. In the Netflix series, they walk everywhere. Everywhere. They very rarely transform. And that doesn't make any sense. I gotta tell you, if I had freaking those shoes with the wheels on them, you think I'd just be regular walking everywhere? Come on. Come on. Not doing it. I'm rolling everywhere. And another thing that annoys me, this is going to be one of those things where you're going to be like, Rob, you need to go outside. You need to take a walk. Maybe have a fruit cup. Something. You need a break, buddy. But I hate it that the Decepticons, a lot of them are cars. Why do you think they call them the Autobots? Because they're automobiles. But then, Rob, what about the aerial bots? What about the... Yeah, that's where they started going off the beaten path. They started going crazy. Did you see that Back to the Future Transformer? I did, Mayoral Digital. In fact, I tweeted it over to Yoshi when I saw the release or the announcement or whatever, and I was like, hey, you got any interest in this? I might be buying that. In fact, I probably should get on it. If I'm going to do it, I need to get on it. In fact, I might have already missed it. Because, man, some of that stuff sells out fast. So I need to look. I need to go look. I might be too late. Look, I'll just end with this, okay? Bumblebee to me is a 3.25 stars. If you're a fan of Transformers, there's a lot to enjoy here. Sold out online. Damn it. Oh well. Hey, that's how it goes sometimes. You know? Trust me, I've got a ton of crap. And a lot of stuff that you can't even see that's in there. Oh my God. Amazon has it for pre-order? Okay. I'll look at that later. I almost just picked up my phone and just, okay, let's go ahead and I'll do that in a few minutes. But anyway, I think it's a fun time. I think if you're a fan of the Transformers and you haven't seen Bumblebee yet because you've been mad at Michael Bay and the Mark Wahlberg show of product placements, you should give it a shot. Bumblebee's a fun time. I'd give it 3.25 stars out of 4. Anything above on my scale, anything above 3 is recommended. Okay? So 3.25, it's recommended by me. I say go for it. And you might say, well, Rob, why should I care what you think? That's a good question. I'd really like to know what you think, so please leave your comments below on what we talked about. And of course, consider hitting that subscribe button and give it a like if you enjoyed it. It really does help. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.